All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. Uh, JF, thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it. Adam, Loretta, thank you for the 5x5. First to last, base, Renee, Dobie, Busy, thank you for the 5x5. Ozark, Evolving Media, Eric, Jason, thank you for the 5x5. Maria, Flown Grown, Sarita, Krista, Raccoon Eyes, thank you for the 5x5. Nancy, thank you for the 25. What it do? Thank you for the 5x5. The Watchman, Jenny, Scotty, Jeep, Demura, excuse me, thank you for the 5x5. Toto, Chicken, Dante, thank you for the 5x5. Another friend, Jason, for the doggies, thank you for the 5x5. Bad Botter, Highlander, Trapper Bob, Down, thank you for the 5x5. Mitch, Joanne, Taco, Bucky, thank you for the 5x5. Kings of Appalachia, thank you for the 5x5. Taco, Joanne, iRobin, thank you for the 5x5. Spectre, thank you for the 5150. Ted, thank you for the 5x5. Or Teddy, excuse me, thank you for the 5x5. Ken, Snap Crackle Pop, Peace, Shion, I think if I said that right. Pumpkin, thank you for the 5x5. Jane, thank you for the Jan, thank you for the 5x5. All right, guys, appreciate it. Yeah, tonight I was bored, had nothing to do. Figured why not do a live stream? Reading a couple of interesting, I guess, takes on the war and things that are going to start happening. Now, Tuesday's live stream, it's going to be something that I think everybody should tune into because we're going to discuss a comparison that we have seen and we're starting to see play out in real time. So again, hopefully Tuesday you guys turn into that. This we're going to talk about. This war is absolutely going sideways, and the U.S. I wouldn't say is losing, or rather, it's not going well for us. Right? I don't want to say that we're losing. We are definitely not winning. That's for sure. But this is not going according to plan. This is not ending as fast as they wanted to. There are way more talks right now of way more talks right now of troops on ground. Now, remember, I told you guys, if he mentioned it, it's going to happen. Some of you guys disagreed. Some of the guys at my job, Firehouse, they disagreed. I said it's going to happen, unless something not catastrophic, but unless something I guess positive happens. We're definitely going to see boots on the ground. Here's the problem with the boots on the ground. The big issue with the boots on the ground, and no one's talking about, is that it's going to be American soldiers only. We're not going to see IDF soldiers in there. You might see some IDF soldiers pulling up rear security after an area has been run over by American troops, but you're not going to see any IDF soldiers up front. That being said, guys, and they've been saying this for a while. That if we go into this, there will be no IDF soldiers or Israeli soldiers in there at all, and there never is. And everybody keeps talking about how badass IDF soldiers are. They're really not. They're not. They're coddled, babied, and we do most of the protection for them. Black sheep. Iran is getting mowed down. That's without a doubt. They're getting bombed to hell. But so is Israel. I don't think they're being decimated. And the thing is, Iran's not even giving up. There's no signs of them giving up, but there are more signs of the U.S. struggling to end this and put this to bed. Right? For the doggies, I would say this is the slow burn as of right now. Um, yeah, there is. Sorry, trying to confirm something I read that there's a lot of lies going on the internet. Both sides. You got the United States, you got Iran, and Israel lying. You got three countries that are lying about this war. All I know, guys, is that we are spending an absorbent amount of money in the war. If I'm not mistaken, in the first 11 days, we spent the United States $18 billion in this war, or strike, or operation, whatever you want to call it. Jason Jones, I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but $18 billion. You know what we could do with $18 billion? There's a lot we can do with $18 billion. We can strengthen so many of our infrastructures here in the United States. Water, what you call water resources, we can strengthen our roads, our electrical grid system, perhaps. There's a lot of things that we can reinforce, strengthen, and make better. And we could feed starving kids, for example. We could make the VA a lot better for vets. I'm talking about absolutely better. Not a little better, a lot better with $18 billion. Instead, here in the United States, we're spending billions of dollars. Here in New York, we're spending billions of dollars on illegal immigrants, right? We're spending billions of dollars in a war that didn't need to be started. Um, Bucky, yes, 1.8 billion a day, right? So just think about it in that $18 billion for a war that didn't need to be started. You could, with $18 billion, I am 1,000% sure you could find somebody's cure, right? Um, for something, cancer, AIDS, you name it. $18 billion. They don't want to fucking give up anything for anything else for the American people, right? The medical system, for example, the healthcare system could be fixed with that much money. And instead, we're lobbing missiles at a country that's using ploys to have us launch these missiles on targets that are not even real. And again, a lot of money is being wasted. Anyway, and the crazy shit is that Pete Hegseth, excuse me, in a video, and I'm watching this, and I'm sitting here, and he's going, you know, the problem with Iran is that they're wasting their money in this war. They're not using it to fix their problems. They're not using it. I'm like, is this motherfucker really talking about this shit? We wasted, and I think we're now close to, if I'm not mistaken, $40 billion this was spent in this war so far. And that's not even talking. That's not even mentioning the money that we're also allocating to Israel to help them defend themselves. That's not even talking about that shit. Again, we are in a jam right now. Road Collider, thank you for the donation, first of all. And yes, I agree. Whatever happens next is going to happen here in the United States. They're going to blame Iran for it, without a doubt. Whether that's a cyber attack or some kind of device going off, something is going to happen. And that's going to get people back on board. But sorry, it's going to get people back on board with the war. The problem is a lot of people, guys, who are not even conspiracy theorists are saying the same thing. They're coming up to the conclusion that if something happens here in the United States in a timely manner, if it's a sleeper cell attack, you're going to have a lot of Americans who are going to think it's a sleeper cell attack. But you're going to have us who are going to look at this shit and go, yeah, no way. David Lockwood, this is absolutely going to reach trillions, without a doubt. You know, I concur with this. This is going to reach trillions. And again, there's a lot we could have done with the money already. You know, I mean, you could give it to the farmer community, for example. Not all 18 billion, but a nice little portion to strengthen the farming community out there. I mean, the housing sector could be fucking strengthened with this money. So many things. Again, you know, I mean, like so many things that I can't even name off the top of my head right now could be done with this money. Instead, we're attacking a country that had there was nothing saying that Iran was going to attack Israel or the United States at that what you call it. Let's see. So somebody put something up. I get so many text messages. It's insane, right? But this was on X, right? John Kent said 18 American intelligence agencies all agreed that Iran had no capacity to develop a nuclear bomb. But Israel told the U.S. that they could assemble 10 bombs in 2 weeks. Again, and this was also Tulsi Gabbard saying this shit last year. This was also I keep saying Libya because I'm so sure it's their intelligence community as well. The French intelligence community also said this, right? And yet somehow Trump only believed Israel. Now Israel has to have something on Trump, or they brainwashed him. I don't know what it is, but when intelligent communities are telling you that, hey, Iran wasn't doing this, like not at all, and then you turn around and go, but Israel, my one source said it. That's like me taking all of my information about this war from one channel and then, like, repeating it on here without doing any fucking research. That's what Trump is doing with Israel, taking their intel and telling the American public that their intel is right. And everybody else is saying it's wrong. And now Joe Kent steps away and goes, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the way this looks. Now he's a scumbag and he's a motherfucker and he's all this other shit. And people are jumping on board, motherfucking him. Trump's talking shit about him. It's insane. And somebody in the chat just said Pete Hegseth is an actor. He's definitely a piece of shit, I tell you that much. I never liked the guy. That guy had the pompous, you want to kick him in the face look. I mean, like, even before he was elected, just seeing him, you're like, you definitely want to punch this dude in the face. He's like one of those 80s villains that were always like bullying somebody and you just wanted to punch him in the face. That's what Pete Hegseth reminds me of. That kind of dude. He just has that look, right? You want to kick him in the throat. Anyway, all that to say, guys, is that this shit is getting away from everyone. And a lot of people are sitting there thinking that we're winning this. We're not winning it. Like I said, I don't think we're losing, but I think if we continue to engage in this, we're absolutely going to lose. We're going to lose a lot of things. Now, if Russia and China go 1,000% in, then we got a lot to lose with this. Right, we got a lot to lose, but I don't think as of right now we're at that stage. But we're definitely going to enter that stage. Now, there are reports. Somebody just brought it up about Taiwan. There are reports about fishing vessels surrounding Taiwan. That's interesting. My chat in. Oh, there it is. I was going to say my chat and Rumble was off. Prep to Adapt, Maria Jackson, Jen Hayes, Raccoon Eyes. Thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Appreciate it. And there's a lot of conversation on Rumble right now. Wow. All right. Anyway, yeah, guys. So they're surrounding, supposedly, the Chinese fishing vessels surrounding Taiwan. So there's a theory, and somebody mentioned it on here again. There's a theory that if we go boots on ground in Iran, China's going to set it off on Taiwan. And we cannot be in both places at the same time. All right? So, and if we do, we spread ourselves thin, then there goes another attack somewhere in or near and around Alaska. Apparently, that whole mining expedition for minerals at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean by Alaska or Washington, right outside of their international water. They're talking about, like, I don't know why the hell I'm losing clients like men are losing hair. Anyway, there's that going on too. And that could set off a war as well, if you will. Apparently, they're scanning the bottom of the ocean over there for some kind of material. And every time I look up an article, they never say what the fucking material is. So, I don't know. It's something rare that China's willing to risk going to war over. Kenzo, Taiwan's next. Listen, Taiwan has been next for a while. Again, it's a rumor that I keep hearing. Taiwan has been next for the last 2 years, maybe 3 now, right? We're like, oh no, they're gonna attack Taiwan this year. They're just saying that there's fishing vessels, circling it, if you will. And I don't know. I'm not over there. These are just reports that I'm seeing online or rumors I'm seeing online, and I'm bringing it to you guys because I really don't know any better other than what I'm reading. I can't confirm a lot of this shit. I confirm it by looking it up, But as far as what's actually going on near Taiwan, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Now, Iran did something early this week, and I think it was bad news. Right? They killed Olympic medalist, if I'm not mistaken, a wrestler, and because he was being treasonous against his country, that's bad, very bad. Coast, which called Hawaii, as a lot of you know, is underwater or was underwater. Apparently, the Coast Guard rescued 7 people, and it was the worst flooding that hit Hawaii in 20 years. A lot going on, man. I mean, there's a lot going on, and it's hard to focus on all of this shit at once. I just saw something about Cuba. They put in a warning, but I can't fucking find it. Listen again. You got a meteor that exploded in Ohio, and everybody heard it. Apparently, people saw the same meteor in Washington. There was another meteor just spotted earlier today, and I'm like, is there something bigger behind these meteor showers that are coming towards Earth? Right? Is there something bigger? Who knows? Again, guys, a lot of shit's going down, and it's hard to keep track of everything. Everything's going on. I know that Iran was given an ultimatum about the Hormuz Strait and opening it up, and if they don't, um, as Trump put it, they're going to pay for it. Supposedly, Iran is letting ships through, but they have to pay a $2 million toll. That's happening. I looked that up. I'm like, that's clever. So you take that $2 million for each ship that wants to pass through, you're putting it back into the war, right? Um, there is still a lot of talk or chatter on whether or not Russia and China are helping them out. No one really knows yet, but according to some people that are watching Iran take these jets out of the sky, they're thinking they're getting firepower from the Chinese. I'm sorry, that they're getting firepower from them, and that they're helping them take them out of the skies. So there is that. Again, a lot going on. This thing with I'm trying to find it, but I can't right now. And when I end this live stream, I'm going to find it. The whole thing with what's going on with Cuba. And Cuba right now is in a power outage. Apparently, people are going to die from starvation, hunger, and possibly dehydration because they can't get any fucking water. They have no electricity to eat. Some people are on medical assistance. So there's a lot going on. Twinkle, is that what it is? 3i Atlas debris? Because it came up in the news again, and I tried to read the article. And you know how when you swipe your phone to read the article, and then it goes to some other bullshit? Like I couldn't get back to that article. So is that what it is? Because that would make sense. Debris from the 3i Atlas. And somebody did say that the media, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm a liar. I watched the video too. I watched the video a week ago. And the guy said that a lot of the debris we're going to start seeing coming out of the skies from 3i Atlas. I forgot about that. That was last week, or middle of the week, rather, excuse me. And then I read something about the 3i Atlas, or I tried to read something about the 3i Atlas article, and I couldn't get to it. But yes, I forgot about that. Again, so much shit going on. You guys are emailing me shit, texting me. I'm trying to like write everything down or copy and paste everything and put it in and organize it. It's fucking tough, man. It's tough. I'm losing my shit on this side over here. You know, I don't have an entourage of minions to look through this shit for me. So I'm trying my best, along with, you know, trying to get my photography business off the ground, planning this trip to Missouri, which looks like I might have to cancel it and drive down there because of the TSA lines are through the roof and out of control. So who knows? And that might be the last trip until this shit solves itself or gets worse or better. I don't know. Apparently, earlier today, the Iranians hit a U.S. UK military base with ballistic missiles after warning everybody that the lives at the base were in danger. Excuse me. Also, there was an earthquake earlier last week. It was upstate New York. It was like a 2 point something. A lot of shit going on. Anyway, we're going to get back to the actual, what you call our hands. All right, all right, all right. The debris thing. All right, so back to this shit. So, guys, Iran just proved its missiles can reach 4,000 kilometers. Can somebody please calculate that in miles? I want to say 8,000 or 7,000 miles or something like that, but I could be wrong, or more. Sorry. It would be more than that. No, it would be like 9,000 miles, whatever. So, anyway, Iran just proved its missiles can reach 4,500 kilometers. Here's every capital that it can hit. From Iran, they can hit London, Berlin, Paris, Rome, Athens, every US base in the Middle East, every NATO installation in Southern Europe, and every aircraft carrier in the Indian Ocean, and Delhi. Not New Delhi, but Delhi, 27 kilometers away. Right? So London is 44 kilometers away. Berlin is 3,600. Sorry, London is 4,400 kilometers away. Berlin is 3,600 kilometers away from Iran. Paris is 42 kilometers away. Rome, 3,200 kilometers away. Athens, 2,600. And then the military bases, NATO installations, and aircraft carriers varies. And then Delhi is 2,700 kilometers away. 2,600 miles. Maybe 3,000. All right, yeah. Bad Badr and Outpost, thank you. 2,600 miles or 2,485 miles, 1,800 miles roughly. Somebody use Google and figure this out because now I'm getting different answers. I see 2,600 miles altogether. To get through when I need. With the Watchmen, again, I get a lot of emails. I look through a lot of it, but I don't respond. Um, Cut the kilometer shit out. And listen, that's how it's reading. No whining. I'm reading what I copied and paste. They put it in fucking kilometers. I hate when they do that. Anyway, Iran's Iran publicly known missile range is 2,000 kilometers. Diego Garcia distance is 4,500 kilometers. Diego Garcia, that was a ship, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was hit, or base. Excuse me, that was hit. That was the That was the U.S. UK military base that's at 4,500 kilometers away in the Indian Ocean, or near the Indian Ocean. Excuse me. The media is not showing you both missiles failed and no damage. That's what the media is showing you. What they're not showing you is that the fact that these missiles can't reach. And if I'm not mistaken, Iran shot two missiles in that direction and they hit near the base, not the base itself. What they were doing is they were showing a show of force that they can absolutely reach. Uh, Smokey Blaze said 2,796,000 miles to be exact. I Googled 2846. You people suck with this shit. Or Google sucks, nonetheless. Thank you, though. Thank you, everybody, for, showing me the answers. Or giving me the answers. Excuse me. Everybody Googled, like, and they got, like, 8 different fucking, 8 different answers. Let's see. Excuse me. So, something that happened today. My son's mother went to go get gas today, right? She ran into this. Let's see if I can pull this. Oh, I think I can. So she ran into this sign at one pump, and if you guys can see both the pump price and the sign, if you can, on this. Uh, so maybe you can, right? But it says only super gas is available, which I'm pretty sure is the premium. Right now in Connecticut, it's $4.65. Right? And regular is $3.75. Now, here in the city, it was a little more than that. I think it's 380 or 390, and that's the pump right down the block for me. All right, and again, guys, this is the bullshit that's starting. Um, this is the bullshit that's already starting, right? this nonsense that we're starting to see. People are trying to get ahead of the gas crisis that is undoubtedly heading in our direction. Right? We You guys are going to have to start figuring out. A lot of you guys who have homes, you're going to figure out how to store your gas, right? You can store it outdoors, you can store it in your shed in a well ventilated area. Do not store gasoline in a container in your apartment. Don't do it. I promise you, it'll be the first and last time you do some dumb shit like that. Especially come the summertime, if you have a hottest apartment, you need a well ventilated area to store the gasoline. You cannot put it in your fucking apartment. All right. If you have a terrace, you might get away with doing that, but I would absolutely advise against it. At least your shed going on fire, you can put that out. Your apartment going on fire and then catching somebody else's apartment on fire, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Just try to keep your tank topped off and try to limit the use of your vehicle if this gets out of control. Now, someone just said diesel was $6 or close to $6. Gas here is $3.79. $3.79. This is Virginia. Alabama is at $3.89. Okay. Milk is $6 a gallon. Nice. Michigan $3.99. Okay, and then someone put Florida, North Florida, $3.79. Costco $3.29. Okay. Yeah, if you put the price, put where? Lower New York, $5.49. Kathy, is that diesel? And then for plus gases in California, it's $5.97. Diesel is $6.35. Holy shit! Here in Northern California, no kidding. Yeah, guys, right? So again, this is going to get out of control. In Ohio, $3.72. Oh, so completely unrelated to this war thing, because I'm looking at it here. I am not sure if I can put this picture online, though you really can't see much. But I was going for a walk, because I'm trying not to be fat. And I think I can put it up because you really can't see anything. But I was going for a walk and I saw a crackhead, and the crackhead was like, "Hey, yo, look at this, look!" And he's pointing down in the basement of an alleyway, and I'm like, "There better not be two crackheads having sex. I'm gonna be really mad if I see this shit, right?" And so he doesn't. I look over the edge as if I'm waiting to see something horrendous, and I look and I see this, and hopefully it doesn't screw my channel up, because this is a lot of information coming on the screen right now, if it even comes up. Maybe it won't. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. So this is a hawk, and the rat is still alive in this photo, by the way. It took this hawk 20 minutes to off the rat. I sat there for 20 minutes watching. It's like a National Geographic in New York City. It was pretty cool. Yeah, right. So it's actually at this point it's still alive. It's playing around with the rat. As you can see, the talon is in the rat here. I thought this was cool. I've seen a rat pick apart a I've seen a hawk pick apart a rat before, but I've never seen them capture one. And this is what it looked like. This is in the city, and we're seeing more hawks. So when I was a kid, red-tailed hawk, yes, we have a lot of them here. When I was a kid, I didn't see the hawks were gone. Right, there were no more hawks in the city. They were extinct or ran out of the city. And then, again, walking along, minding my business, going, and then we saw that again. The crackhead was like, "Yo, look at this." I thought he was like at first I thought he was gonna hit me over the head and rob me, kind of shit. But we both sat there and we watched this shit for 20 minutes, man. I have better photos actually. I have one where the hawk looks up at us, because after it offed it, it was sitting there and you could tell the bird was trying to figure out what it wanted to do next. Right? So it was trying to figure out, what do I do, And it looked up at us, which I thought was cool. Give it a second or two. because this a lot of I guess it's only it's meg. See, the bird looks up at us. It's like, the fuck you looking at? This is mine. Not like me and the crackhead were going to go down there and take its meal, but that's what it was doing. It was, it was looking up at us. Um, but again, I thought this was a pretty cool shot. It looking up, and yes, the rat, it's still under there somewhere, right? But he was just like, "Yo, knock it off, leave me alone." And again, me and the crackhead, we sat there and we talked the whole time. Right? We sat there and we talked the whole time. Anyway, like I said, I got videos which I'm not going to put on because I got, obviously, the video I can't put that on. But this is that was what you call it. Anyway, sorry, that was a sidetrack. I just saw the picture. I was like, I should share this with you guys. This is pretty cool. Yes, Sorsha. So it was very protective. I saw it moving its wing before it looked up, and I told the Kraken, I'm like, oh, she or he is protecting the food. It thinks that we're gonna steal it. Now a crackhead, they're capable of stealing anything. I'm not going down there. It wasn't even I was trying to reassure that bird. Listen, we don't want your crack food, man. No, maybe Cracky wants it, but I don't want that shit. But anyway, that was a cool encounter, and the fact that the crackhead, like, he saw it go down, and I saw him looking around like this, like he wanted somebody else to share this experience with him, and then he saw me walk. He's like, "Yo, look at this!" And then I went over there and I looked. It was just a cool interaction between him and I. The fact that he wanted somebody else to see this was cool. But yeah, it was an interesting. Was the hawk on crack? No. But yeah, it was just interesting that he wanted somebody else to share his the experience. I thought it was cool. Um, but yeah, sorry sorry about showing that. People are like, are we talking about fucking a war? We're talking about a bird, you asshole. Sorry. Like I said, I just thought that was insanely cool. Okay, something didn't connect. Yes, something didn't happen. Give me a second. But yeah. So yeah, something didn't update. But anyway, we'll get to it in a minute. Made a new friend. Flown grown. No. No, I'm probably going to see him again. You know what? To be honest, I've seen him before. It wasn't the first time I seen him. That was the first time we spoke, again, because of that whole thing. And he was amazed by it. He goes, I've never seen this before. I go, shit, man, neither have I. Like I said, the last time I saw it was in a, I don't have that picture on this phone, and I can't show that picture because in that picture, the hawk was ripping up the rat, ripping it apart. Um, and in this one, at the very least, you could see that it caught it, right? Um, did you give him some money for the show? Bucky, you know what? That would have been a good idea, but I didn't. I didn't give him any money. But anyway, sorry about that. I just thought that was a cool experience. Anyway, guys, if you do not mind, could you give me some thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever floats your boat? I generally don't care. Just do something, right? It helps with the algorithm. Someone said the Hawk 2 ago, your crack connection spotter. Yeah, well, he said that the bird came from the roof and sort of like spiraled down, I guess, holding the rat. And I think that hawk was a young hawk because it took too long to kill it. Right? It was 20 minutes. I've seen a hawk, that one hawk, kill the rat seconds. This one was almost playing around with it, kept pecking it and pecking it, pulling at its ear, pecking it. It took forever. Took forever. Um, and it couldn't in the little it's not an alleyway, but it was a stairway going to the basement or in the courtyard in the back, and it was probably like a 3 by 8 area with some stairs, and it was sitting there trying to figure out how it was going to get out with its catch, and it just couldn't, so it started picking at it. Me and the guy looked down at it and was like, "Yeah, we're done," and we went our separate ways. But it was trying to figure out how to get out of this area, and it knew how. It just didn't know how to do it with its food. Maybe so. Yes, hawks will go after pigeons, But there's so many rats here in the city that they're content with that. I did see two pigeons. Was it pigeons? No, it wasn't pigeons. There's another group of birds. I want to say crows. They were fucking with a hawk in downtown. This was like a year ago. I'm walking with my kids with the dog, and I'm watching this bird fuck with the hawk, and they just kept messing around with him. Then the hawk just flew away. It was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I guess the hawk was in their area, in their territory, and they were being, and crows are very territorial, and they were just like chasing him around, and he just fucking flew away. But yeah, crackhead was eyeing a burrito. Crackhead, listen, he had like, listen, the crack catastrophe that's going on in this area is insane. I like, again, every day I go for my walk, man. I look around and I'm like, yo, there's like 8 new crackheads in the area, and they're like oblivious to shit. They just walking in the street. They have their bullshit cell phones. They're always standing by the cell phone chargers that are in the street. I got to do a walkabout and show you guys uh, where they hang out. They congregate there, and they do weird shit, man. Like I told you, the guys were talking about avocado. The guy was like, man, I really like avocado, man. And the one was like, yeah, why? He goes, it's so good for you. It's so healthy. It keeps you healthy. Two crackheads talking about health was insane. But anyway, um, there's just so many more now, man. It's so many more, and it's just bad. I mean, you got guys, man, like fucking just flipping out. I mean, the other day, um, when I was coming back from shooting, I did a photo shoot yesterday. I was coming back. There was he was a psych patient for sure. He was a definite psych patient, and he did some shit, man. He came back. He's coming down. He's walking down the train station, and he's fucking doing all these martial art moves. He's like, yeah, 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 and he does a fucking snake or the crane. He's like, ah, ah. And he sat there, and I'm looking at him walk towards me. I'm like, come on, man, not today, And he stops and he does all this fucking Matrix bullshit, and then he stands there, and I go, would you knock it off? And he just stops, looks at me, and then walks away. I was just like, the fuck is his problem? Now he's making noises as he's doing this shit, and people are on the platform. He goes, hiya, and then he did some other shit really loud, and people looked at him and they were like, and they fucking vanished. Now I'm standing there by myself. I'm like, fucking cowards. So anyway, he does his bullshit. I'm like, yo, knock it the fuck off. And he's just like, he went like this. He goes, and he just walks away. I was just like, come the fuck on, man. Why do I got to deal with this shit on the train? I can't go on the train, have a normal ride like a normal person. I got to meet fucking, the black Bruce Lee. And he had and I knew he was a psych patient because he had, wrapped around both his wrists. I was like, this fucking guy. And he thought he just finished Crouching Tigers and Hidden Dragon the way he was behaving in the fucking train station, man. It was just like, dude, stop. And then that was it. He stopped. He started walking like a normal person in the train station again. I was like, this fucking dude, I can't go anywhere without some fucking crazy shit. And again, the city's getting worse. It's just going to get exponentially worse. The way Mamdani's handling this shit, poor. Listen, this country is screwed. We got a shitty president. We got shitty mayors inside these big cities. We got shitty governors inside these states, fucking everything up, screwing it up every which way you can. The fact, guys, that I've never seen a president follow one person's intel. In fact, the crazies like you, Jason. Apparently, I can't get away from them. Anyway, all that to say is that there's a huge problem. There's a military fracturing right now, and there are military guys resigning, being reassigned. There's a fucking fight within the military structure right now, and nobody's talking about it. I'm looking up stories, and I'm finding different stories of this guy being reassigned. Some people who are now outside of the military are talking about the fracturing that's going on. The media's not talking about it. We, as preppers or channels, are not talking about it. This is where civil war starts to talk. For the doggies, I should do a walk and talk live stream at night. You guys will definitely get a kick out of it using my phone. I just if I do that, I can't see the chat that good anymore. So you have to. But yeah, it's there's a lot of fraction going on, and the fact, guys, that the military is starting to have this problem, and their military leaders arguing with each other, their military leaders disagreeing with the president and the tactic and the way to go about attacking Iran. You got military leaders who are like, we should attack it this way. And you got other leaders going, no, it needs to be this way. And now they're running into the problem. Right now, Trump is looking back and going, all right, well, you said something a week ago. Should we go with that? That kind of shit is happening right now, but nobody's talking about it. And this is where, again, civil war starts. Bobby, yes, civil war over Iran, because a lot of military leaders, not all of them, but a lot of military leaders disagree with this war or operation to begin with. That was one. You have ex intel officers like Scott Ritter who are saying that this was a bad idea, and he was a top tier intel guy in his days, back in the days, and he's looking at all of this shit and he's reading the pattern, right? And again, this is how civil war can start. I am not saying that it's going to start. I'm just saying the fracturing that's happening within the military itself is a bad sign, right? This is just and now I'm starting to put like two and two together. I'm starting to listen to this guy talk and that guy mention it, and then you're looking. If you Google it yourself, military officers quitting or resigning, or sorry, being reassigned. Look at how many guys are being fucking. And not for nothing, but Pete Hegseth moved a lot of guys around because he wants, and I quote, loyalists closer to Trump, and everybody else who's not a loyalist, everybody who disagrees with Trump and what's going on, they're being pushed to the outskirts of that inner circle, if you will. Again, you can Google this shit yourself. I promise you're going to find this information. But people are not talking about that. But that is how civil war starts. When the inner rings of the high echelon military leaders start arguing with one another, this is how you get civil war started. It's the direction that it heads in we're heading in. Excuse me. Not that it's a guarantee it's going to start. I am not saying that. I'm just saying this is what it looks like when we start heading in that direction. Right. Well, Sorsha, the problem is it's not patriotism when you're putting Israel first. It's not at all. Scott Ritter's literally never correct. Scott Ritter's been correct so far about what's going on in Iran. And it's funny because I looked up Scott Ritter, and yes, I know that some of the things he got wrong, but I was waiting for someone to make that comment, Lone Wolf. Thank you. You like on cue. And the thing is there's always going to be somebody that disagrees with somebody. Always. People disagree with me. People disagree with Scott Ritter's assessment, but he has been right with what's going on in Iran. I don't think Iran would have happened under camel toe. I don't know what that means, Shorty. I have no clue what that means. Casey, there are some military leaders that are loyal to the country. There are military leaders that are country first, then everybody else. And that's what it should be, right? It should always be country first, then everybody else, right? It shouldn't be Israel first. And now, again, I told you this before, look it up. They were trying to equate America first with anti-Semitism, all right? And this came from, not Marco Rubio, what's the other asshole? Cruz. Ted Cruz. He was saying that out of his mouth. He said, and I quote, saying America first is an equivalent of being anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic. Because you're saying America first. Because they said the translation was saying America first is saying that you don't care about Israel and countries like it. No, we don't care about Israel. A lot of us don't care about Israel or Iran. I don't care about either of those countries. I am worried about this country. The amount of money we're spending on this operation is bizarre. The fact, and again, they're military guys who disagree with the amount of money that's being spent, right? The amount of money we are throwing away is it. A lot of military guys are pissed about that. There are a lot of people who are going to, and I bet my bottom dollar there are going to be more military leaders leaving the military altogether because of this shit. You know, again, you want loyalists, but you also want somebody, guys, that's going to keep you in line. You don't want a loyalist that's always going to yes you to death. That is how you lose the kingdom when you have too many yes men. Mary, listen, obviously they offed Charlie Kirk. If Joe Kent was told to stand down on investigating deeply into Charlie Kirk's murder, there's a problem there, right? So, and according, he was told, now he didn't say who told him to say that. No, who told him to back off. I think he said Trump, and then other people just said the administration told him not to. Yes, Prepper Revelator. Ted Cruz also said that saying Christ is King is anti Semitic. So America first and Christ is King is anti Semitic. You guys got to pay attention, man. The great noticing is happening. I love that, by the way. I don't know which one of you told me that shit, but that is fucking awesome. The great noticing. I can't, I mean, I was thinking about it all week after one of you guys wrote it. The noticing's happening. I was like, what the fuck is that? Um, yes. Is that a stoner? A stroner? If I'm saying that, our stoner. Yeah, he said that he was going to bomb the nuclear energy plant. He said that he was going to bomb something else too. I think they're another fuel source or something like that. Thank you. It was first and last. It said stop noticing things. Right. Um, but anyway, listen, guys. Here's the problem. It needs to be country first and America first, right? And American people. That's what it needs to be. But somehow we're looking at Iran as the enemy of our country, which is total bullshit. The enemies of our country, guys, are in the fucking country already. They are fucking here. They are in the streets praying 4 or 5 times a day. They're leaving their prayer rugs in parks so that they can go back to it. They are blocking traffic so that they can pray. They're taking up fucking entire streets. They're erecting mosques all over cities and yet somehow still praying in the street. That is a direct smack in the face to the American people. It is called religious dominance. Religious dominance, guys. That is what they are doing. We are looking at Iran and going, they are threatening the American way of life. No, these motherfuckers that are here in this country creating no-go zones, again, taking over neighborhoods, erecting mosques all over the place, having their people come here for safety when they are in fact taking over the country. You want to be America first, tackle that problem first. Start, yes, you want religious freedom? Fine. But you have to make sure that the enemies that are here are being checked. Because right now they're going unchecked and they're doing all kinds of shit. A lot of people are like, who? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the sand people. Those people. They are unequivocally taking over cities. They are they're building so many mosques so that they can pray inside. So why the fuck are they praying in front of Catholic churches? Why are they praying in the middle of the streets, stopping traffic? In fact, they even in the FDNY headquarters had prayer rugs in front of the 9/11 memorial. That, guys, is called religious dominance. It's a slap in the face. Religious freedom really means the state cannot promote a religion. Right. They can't promote a religion, but guess who's promoting their religion? Right? The Muslims, they're promoting their religion. People don't know what sand people mean. Guilty Spark, you might be new to the channel, but I'm talking about Muslims. They are taking over multiple cities, multiple towns. These Muslim guys can be pretty big. I'm not worried about height, man. Right, Franny. Listen, your religion's yours, but here's the rub, and a lot of people don't realize this. The whole religion of freedom is to allow people to express their religious freedoms, their religion. But there's a point, guys, where we should have been, at least Catholics or Christianity, excuse me, should have been the and it still is the dominant religion here in the United States, but it's slowly losing that battle. They're even trying to convert people to Islam. Iran sponsored them. Nursara, no, they didn't. Iran didn't sponsor this. This was happening years before this Iranian shit. These people are from all over the Middle East. They're not from Iran or only Iran, excuse me. They're from the Middle East. Again, this is a problem. And again, we're worried about fucking Iran. The fuck out of here. Iran, listen, their capabilities are minimal. They don't have the funding to send people over here, nor do they want to send people over here. They think that our, Western lifestyle is a disease. They're probably partially right. And they said, U.S. could care less about Israel. This is about American dominance in the region. The Machinist, K9N, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. This has everything to do with Israel. This is Israel-controlled war. He goes, this is about American dominance in the region. Ever heard of PNAC? No, I haven't. And I'm not going to do my research because this is about Israel. This has everything to do with Israel. And you're not paying attention. This is not American dominance. This is about Israeli dominance in the Middle East. Why do you have every politician siding with Israel on this? Why do you have politicians saying, and I quote, Israel should own all of the Middle East? Not America, Israel. This is an American politicians making these statements. And listen, again, you probably didn't hear these statements because it's not being made known widely, but nonetheless, it's being fucking said. You got people like Lindsey Graham talking about, I'm gonna go back to South Carolina and tell my people that their sons and daughters should fight for Israel and America. For Israel and America. You definitely gotta wake up. Wake the fuck up. This is factual shit. I'm not making any of this shit up. This is shit you can look up on your own. Justin Nicholas, I heard something about the drones being spotted. I don't know any more than that. I heard about the drones over a military base, but I didn't know they weren't responding to jamming. That I didn't know of. I know that we are missing 3 drones. Coincidentally, we're missing 3 drones. And somebody said that they're going to rework them to make them look like Iranian drones and hit a couple buildings in California. Who knows? But again, guys, those of us who are paying attention to all of these, the little, I guess, the nuances that are going on around this war, we're paying attention to it. But it's only a small percentage of us that are paying attention to this, right? A small percentage of us are paying attention to this. And when something happens, the large percentage are going to be, told this is what it is, and they're going to believe it. How do you feel about America fighting for Israel dominance? I guess you weren't listening, but I don't like it. Yes. Victory. Yeah, right. False flag is coming, man. Something's coming. And again, what's gonna happen is gonna scare the shit out of a lot of Americans. Listen, I don't think My skydive. I don't have an angry truth tonight, so I'm gonna run this a little late. But thank you for the heads up. Um, I don't. I think that something's gonna go down, and we are just gonna be the ones awake to what it is and who started it, right? I don't think a lot of us are going to. We're not going to fall for the bullshit. Is what I'm saying. A lot of us have our eyes wide the fuck open because there's just too many things going on. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wasn't going to do an angry truth tonight because I have some good information for the angry truth Tuesday night. I also didn't want to be up too long because I have to do some videos. What's tomorrow? Monday. Yeah, I got to do videos tonight, edit those, and then I got to edit some more pictures. I got a ton of pictures to edit. I love taking pictures. I hate fucking editing. I really do. Casey, I guess you hit me up when you get to New York. Email me at angryprepper@yahoo.com. Um, but yeah, I was just confused because usually people are anti Muslim or anti fighting for Israel. Interesting, you see both sides. Some Muslims are violent, but I don't see that as a main issue. Stoner, uh, most, it's okay. So here's the, am I saying your name right, man? R Stoner? R Stroner? Yeah. Here's the thing. The Muslims are playing the long game. They're doing what the Jews are doing. They're playing the long game. So they're not playing the violent action anymore, or the device on their chest and Allah Akbar. They're not playing that game anymore. They're playing the longer game. They're playing the dominance game. The dominance game takes time. I have noticed it after 9/11. Like right after 9/11, I started noticing it. Because what did they do after they took a tower down? Um, they took the towers down. A year later, they erected a mosque by the World Trade Center, established dominance. It's always been a Muslim thing that when something, they take something down, Eugene Stoner. All right. When they take something down, right, they erect a mosque. When they conquer something, Muslims, they erect a mosque. When they go into neighborhoods and they erect a mosque, guys, and they erect a mosque that can hold 300 people. But instead of praying in the fucking mosque, they're now in the streets blocking it. Not only do they block streets in New York, they do not get any kind of permission or permits to do so. They do it out of disrespect. Now, I said this before, I will say it again. There's a lady who's from the Middle East. She said, and I quote, they do not do this in their country. They do not pray in the streets. They do not fucking block traffic. They go into their mosque and they pray accordingly. When they do it here in the United States, it's because they're establishing religious dominance, letting you know that they're taking over your neighborhood and there's nothing you can do about it. That is a slap in the face to the American people, right? Yes, they're not running around, with machetes and shit. They're doing the long game. Peggy, yes, like London, right? And so I stand in the middle because I see both of the bullshit. I see right through it. I see what the Jews are doing. I see what the Muslims are doing. I see right through both of their bullshit, right? And a lot of people don't have the capacity to do that. They look at it and then they look at it one side or the other. This is why I got fucking like a tiny group of fucking friends because I stand in the middle and I look at shit from both sides, right? And I spot the bad and or the good from both sides. Now, unfortunately, I do not see any good with Muslims and I do not see any good with Jews and the things that they are doing. I don't see it. And I'm talking about the Israelis, rather, or Benjamin Netanyahu, excuse me. I don't see that portion of getting us into a war being a good thing. You know, granted, if you look at a lot of Jewish villages here in New York City, look at how they decimated them, right? And I'll point you in one direction. a place called Curiel Joel. Look up that town in New York. You're not going to like what you see. You're not going to like the stories you hear coming out of it. Um, the amount of shit that they do there and the stuff that they do in Brooklyn is insane. They do so many illegal things, it's insane, and they get away with it. Muslims are starting to do the same exact shit. Same exact shit. They took their playbook and they used it for themselves. But yeah, wounded Puma said, "Gotta pick a side. Never pick a side. You stand in the middle, and then that's your side." Sometimes you have to pick a side with certain things, like when your kids are arguing about some shit. That's where you pick a side, right? If your wife and your daughter are arguing, you have to pick a side. That's when you pick sides. But when it comes to shit like this, you don't pick a side. Stand in the middle, and you fight both of them. Slingshots and fucking rubber bullets, man. You choose, right? But yeah. Listen, guys, this shit isn't going to fare well for anyone. It really isn't. Too much noticing. Chat. Noticing means. I didn't see that. Um, yeah, so remember the whole drone thing in New York? Sorry, New Jersey? And Trump said he was going to get to the bottom of it? He didn't do that. He didn't get to the bottom of shit. He didn't get to the bottom of nothing with that. The Epstein files, redacted the hell out of it, pulled a lot of pages out, didn't do anything. Trump lied to us through and through, man. There was not one promise he went through. Mamdani, oh my God. Keep in mind, these are two people, Mamdani and Trump, do not like each other. They probably hate each other. They're both behaving the same exact way. That is the definition of evil or bad men. When two people can't get along, but they're doing the same exact shit. The Jews and the Muslims doing the same exact shit. They don't get along, they're doing the same fucking things. Politicians, a lot of politicians don't like one another, but they both do the same exact shit. And what is that? Between Mamdani, Trump, politicians, they fuck the American people right in the ass. This is their game. This is how come we need to wake up and we need to do some shit and some serious shit. You know, I had a plan, and I want to see if people are willing just to meet, go down to DC, and not say a fucking word, just stand at the gates and build people who have a disdain for what's going on in the country, or rather in the world. Um, I just think that us showing up, no signs, no yelling and screaming, maybe one sign talking about our disdain with what's going on, and then having that grow from there. But we need more Americans on our side. That's the problem. We need the left, unfortunately, to band together with them. Not the crazy left, but the left, you know, some Democrats. We need people who are willing to stand in the middle against this bullshit. I don't know. I don't know. Where's the audit for Fort Knox? Crazy backyard. They weren't going to do that. As soon as they talked about auditing Fort Knox, I'm like, that's not going to happen. Not at all. There's money missing, or gold bars missing from there. Yeah, man. Listen, we're fucked, and if we don't get on the same page, we're fucking screwed. This country, and listen, this country's already screwed. This country's already screwed, but we need to get on the same page. Wounded Puma said, "Never with the left," and that's why you're gonna stay where. That's why we are gonna stay where we are, a Wounded Puma, because we have to be willing to nudge somewhere. Both sides have to be willing to nudge. Listen, if they don't want to nudge, then that's on them. But we have to be willing to nudge and come together, because that's the only way we defeat these pieces of shit in Washington, D.C. It's the only way. We have to work together. Falcon, I haven't gone through the Epstein files. I went through the Epstein files a little bit. Found some interesting shit, but there's just so much to go through. I'm hoping the people who are combing through it find some more interesting stuff. But a lot of the stuff was also taken out. A lot of stuff was taken out. Well, it's about Project 2025. It's about a lot of things, guys. There are a lot of things going into play, and we're just missing it. We sent them gold bars to Israel a long time ago. Flown grown, I hope you're wrong. Crazy backyard, I hope you're wrong too, but you're probably not. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Jasp, yeah, the immigration thing. He worked on it for a little bit. He raggled up some little, amigos. He was like, "Listen, amigos, we're sending you back to your country. Come back later, but just for optics, make it look good. We're gonna rally you guys up and send you. We're gonna shoot a couple Americans, and then we're gonna stop. What happens? Shoot 2 Americans. Now you don't hear about this shit anymore. Interesting. It's all interesting, man. Everything was to get your eyes off the Epstein file. Everything. Yo, we're gonna bomb the shit because no one's talking about the Epstein file. The only people that keep bringing it up are people like myself and a couple other channels. But that's it, man. The Epstein files, like, there is some serious shit, man. No one wants to talk about it. Because, like, look what's going on in Iran. Look what they're doing to the Israelis. And then they're like, look what the Israelis are doing to the Iranian people. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care. You two idiots want to wipe each other off the map, so be it. First of all, those two idiots should be firing their weapons at military bases only, right? Or the ships out in the sea. They shouldn't be firing it into civilian areas. Again, I said this last week. It's not like a broken fucking record. But they shouldn't be taking out civilians. Like I said before, that's not war, that's murder. Yeah, victory. Yo, victory. Exactly. No more fucking talk of ICE. Nasara, a lot is happening. I mean, too much is happening for us to keep track of all of it. Just it is what it is. And Justin Nicholas says you all need to pay attention. And listen, nobody, Justin, I'm not breaking your chops, and this is going to be an asshole comment, but there's a lot to pay attention to. Anybody who says you guys need to pay attention, I mean, like I say it too, but in reality, man, there's too much to pay attention to. It's impossible. We're not AI. There's a lot going on. There are new bills being introduced behind our backs, or rather in front of our eyes, but we're not paying attention to it, right? They're looking to jail corporation owners for standing against Israel. $3,000 fine or 20 years in jail. Not 2, not 5, for standing against Israel, for making your plight against Israel. $3,000 fine or 20 years in jail. I'm like, what? There are guys that diddle kids and get less time. And you're like, yeah, no, I don't like this whole Israel thing. I'm against it. You start doing that, now they want to throw you in jail for 20 years. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? And then another article I read, they said 5 years. Still heavy-handed for disagreeing with a state. Let's see if I can find it. No, there it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is 20 years. They state, let's see, let's go over it. The IGO Anti-Boycott Act, HR 867, introduced early 2025 by Mike Lawler, Representative Mike Lawler, and others, aimed to punish participation in boycotts of Israel fostered by international organizations. While not directly criminalizing general criticism, the bill expands existing laws with potential penalties for willful violations, including a hefty fine and up to 20 years in prison, rather than the $3,000 and 5 years in prison. So they upped the fine and they upped the sentencing in prison for disagreeing with Israel. Now they say that they're not criminalizing general criticism. Yes, they are. Stoner, thank you. Anti-Boycott Act HR 867. He put it in there. Definitely take a look at it. But the purpose of the bill is to aim, or rather to prevent U.S. companies and individuals from supporting boycott against Israel fostered by international governmental organizations. The legislation targets actions such as refusing to do business with Israel due to the request from an IGO, again, international government organization, or furnishing information regarding business relationship with the country. Penalties, willful violation can be severe. Listed fines up to $1 million, or up to $1 million and 20 years in prison. 20 years in prison for listening to another company or another organization, another country, and boycotting with them. 20 years in prison for boycotting. Do you see how stupid this sounds? And again, if you remember what I read earlier, they're expanding existing acts or anti-Israel acts, expanding this. This is bad shit. Why the fuck should somebody go to jail for 20 years and pay $1 million? He said, we go to jail if, yeah, again, Bucky, isn't that just for corporations? That's not for the individual person yet. It's coming for the individual person soon. Right now, it's just corporations. Imagine for disagreeing or not wanting. So you look at somebody, you go, yeah, no, you're with Israel. I don't want to do business with you. 20 years in jail? So you mean you could bang a kid and you get less time? There's something fucking wrong. Let's ignore the Epstein list, but if you talk bad about Israel, we're going to throw you in jail for 20 years. Oh, wait, before we throw you in jail, matter of fact, we need $1 million from you too. Listen, this is fucking bananas. All of it is bananas. And does it all connect? Yes and no. Some of the shit doesn't connect. Some of the things I think are just, coincidental. Or rather, they're working off of it, right? So if something happens, they go, oh, you know what, let's use this to our advantage kind of deal, right? But listen, a lot of people like there is no God, God is religion. We're going to find out one way or the other, my friend. A lot of people like there's no God, there's this. We're going to find out sooner or later. So, and like I tell people all the time, you might not believe in God, but he believes in you. You could deny it until you're blue in the face. That doesn't matter. You guys are you'll see. You'll see down the line. But anyway, outside of that, I'm going to go off the air now. I think I've been on a little too long. An hour and 15 minutes. Good. Wounded Puma, I think you said this a while ago. You said no one has the balls to stand up anymore. And that is the problem. There's only a small group of us that will stand together. But then what? Right? We need a large percentage of people to stand with us. I would say at least 3 to 5% of the population needs to stand with us. We can get those numbers, we can do some damage. But until then, you know what? I'm just talking into the void at this point, right? If the state of Israel wants, I don't know, whatever. Oh, by the way, just a fun fact: they are now using AI to comb through the internet for anti-Semitic comments. Listen, I'm going to talk about this shit till I'm blue in the face. If you find my comment anti-Semitic, oh the fuck well. I don't know what that means either. Someone said the Angryprepper is wiped out. I don't know. Wiped out meaning tired? Yes. I'm always tired. City Prepper, yes, the problem is leadership. It's always been leadership. Our leadership has gone down a fucking drain because they're all bought and paid for. That's the problem. Yeah. Anyway, I get suspended all the time on X. Nice first and last. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys Tuesday for the doubleheader. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. There's a lot of people on for Sunday night. Listen, the Sunday nights might happen here and there, and they're most likely going to be last minute, right? So keep that in mind. If the juice state is wiped out, what does that mean for Christian? Oh, I don't know, James Duncan. You asked that question too late in the game. I'm tired. I don't want to answer your question now. Ask that question again Tuesday at 9. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.